Well, all right, welcome back. Tack Life, episode 4 of the EDC breakdown. So, in this episode, what we're talking about, or volume episode, I don't know which, what we're talking about on this one is knives. If you haven't been following along with the chronological order of the episodes, start at the beginning. I recommend just my intro to why I'm doing this, what I'm doing, and continue on. So I've done a video about knife storage, and I touch on a lot of knives that are in my hundreds and hundreds of knives that I own. I wanted to do in this EDC video breakdown just some knives that I think are some of the best for EDC purposes in general. By no means is this you have to get this knife. I bought all these knives personally, and I've used them a lot, and I will stand by them until the end of time. So there you go. So starting off, all the first 5 knives or so I'll show you are going to be extreme budget knives, less than $50 a piece, most of which are around $20 to $30 range. So let's get into that. This knife right here I've had since about 2007, so math, 13, 14 years. It's a semi-serrated Model 1 AUS 8. It's a Randall Adventure Training. This is technically a Rat 1. This knife is the original to this knife I bought 2 years ago, which is, oh my God, the Ontario Knife Company Model 1 AUS 8. It is the same knife, side by side, same knife. So Randall's Adventure Training and Ontario Knife Company got together and did that, and then this is what we're left with nowadays. So this knife, about 20. I got it for like $20. You can get it for about 25 for the AUS 8 version. They also make a D2 steel version, which is maybe $20 more. When you put one of these in your hand, you'll immediately feel the quality and understand why I'm telling you to buy one. This is one of 2 knives that I recommend to everyone to purchase. I'll show you the next one in a couple knives, but this right here you will not regret buying. You can move the pocket clip here to here, tip up, tip down, or the complete other side. You can do tip up, tip down on the other side if you're a lefty. Ambidextrous thumb studs. It is an all-around wonderful knife. You will not find a better bargain, in my opinion, for $20 to $25. Even if it was a $40 knife, I would buy it every day of the week. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous action for such a cheap knife. Such quality. Moving on. A classic that I have to include in this because it's a $40 knife. This is the Buck 110. Stainless steel clip point blade. To me, this is the ultimate skinning and knife prep knife to carry. So you could use it as an EDC knife, beating stuff up, whatever you want to do, but to me this is an ultimate skinning and food prep knife. I did put a thumb stud on here because they do not come with one. You can buy multiple variations of that. I used to carry this Scout carrier across my back. I love this knife. It has been with me for a long time, and you can never go wrong with the classic. 40 bucks. It is heavy though. Only downside, the Buck 110. They do make a light version that's made out of composite. I own one. They also make an automatic version now that's a push button and it's spring loaded and open. There's only one knife that's spring loaded that I really recommend, and I'll show you that in a second. Milwaukee, if you're ever at a hardware store, 15 bucks, 20 bucks is like the most expensive one I think they make. It's plastic, but it is a phenomenal work knife, a great EDC knife. You push this little button here and you flip it open. They make all kinds of blades, hawk bills, clip points, all kinds of stuff, reverse tanto, razor knives, which I show in my razor knife video. If you haven't watched the EDC, a razor knife video, please watch that. Breaks down a lot of those budget carry razor knives. This is a great option as well. You can just beat the devil out of them, and they're great knives. I use this one a lot and resharpen it, and it keeps on going. So good option. This knife, this is the only spring-loaded knife I really have ever recommended to anyone. It's super thin, super quality. It's a Gerber. I cannot tell you the model. I can't remember the model, but I love this knife. I had one for years. I carried it all the time at work, beat it to death, resharpened it, just kept on going. And I love it so much. I bought it as a gift for a lot of people. The only downside is I lost mine. So I ended up getting another one, and this is the other one. What I love about it is it does have the locking portion on it. So if it's in your pocket, you don't want it to accidentally deploy with the spring loaded, you just keep it on lock. And then when you want to use it, you unlock that button and never had an accidental discharge. It's important nowadays. And then when you want to put it back away, you just push that lock back up, boom, and then lock it in place. It's not going to open. Great little knife. I love these. So this one and this one I'll recommend all day long. And this one is about 25, 30 bucks. About 20 to 25. Get both. I'm just telling you, get both. So moving into more expensive knives, this SOG multi-tool is an amazing little multi-tool. I use this when I'm in like more dressy clothes and I can't put my full-size Leatherman on. Great little multi-tool. I don't remember the model, but just the plier action is amazing. This is about $30 to $40, something like that. So moving into really actually more expensive. This is the Doug Marcadia neck knife. It's a karambit. I love this knife. It is high carbon steel quality, but for this, I don't know if you can buy this anymore. This in the trainer, I've talked about it in another video, about $120 when they came out a couple years ago. I don't know if you can get them anymore. Good luck to you if you want one, but I love it. And then Benchmade 940 Osborne. You know it if you've been in the knife game for any length of time. This is a fantastic knife. It is an S30V steel. This one is the green version with a purple liner on the back. The action is amazing. They patented this axis lock, which you can just push that down and fling it open and close it the same way, or you can use the thumb stud to open and then close it with the axis lock, and it can work with left or righties. It's a great knife. Super thin, you don't even know what's in your pocket. I recommend it all day. Also, Essies, they have a special place in my heart. This is the Azula. I think it's technically an Azula 2 because it comes with these scales on it. You can also get a skeletonized version. You can wrap paracord in it, whatever you want to do. Great either neck knife or just a knife to carry on you that's a fixed blade. You can beat this all day long. It won't break, and if for some reason you manage to break it, Essie is amazing because you can just send it in and they'll send you a brand new one. Voila. They like to include, if you could put in a story of how you managed to break it, they appreciate that. Got a lanyard hole, comes with this Kydex sheath. It does come with the option of putting a clip on it. I don't do that. I keep the lanyard on it, which is 550 paracord, and I tuck it in the small of my back scout carry or on the side, wherever I want it, and I loop this through my belt, and that way when I need it, I just deploy it like that, and it's there good to go, and I can move it around when I get in the truck, whatever I need to do. I think that's the best way to carry these. I also leave it in my backpack when I'm not carrying it. For about 6 to 7 years when I did construction, every day of my life, I carried this SE4. I also carried a couple other pocket knives. I always carry 3 to 4, but I carried this SE4 every day on my belt. This knife is $10.95, just like the other one, the same warranty. I have beat this thing to death, and it is still amazing. I got the bayonet blade where this part is filed down here, so it's sharp. You can get it without that. It's got choils on the back. When I tell you to get an SE4, get an SE4, whether it's for bushcraft, for work, for just anything. I mean, this knife has just surpassed everything I could imagine, and again, none of my stuff is sponsored, but if Essie wants to sponsor me, I will do reviews all day long on some Essie knives. I love Essie knives. And like I said, I've had this one I carried it for 6-7 years constantly at work, and that was a couple years ago. So I've had this knife for probably 10 years, and I've just destroyed it, and it's still going. I just sharpen it, and it's as good as day one. Amazing. On my person, I'm carrying nowadays the Paramilitary 2 by Spyderco. If you're familiar with that at all, you know they're great knives. I really enjoy carrying it. I will continue to carry it, but these are also expensive, like $130 to $180 or more, depending on which one you get. This Essie, around 80 to 100. This one around 60-ish to 80, depending on which one you get. I also, along with the PM2, I carry this Gerber EAB, as I spoke about in my razor knife video. Great little Gerber knife. I also am constantly carrying the all my keys, as I showed in my key video. My Swiss Army Classic, which everyone knows Swiss Army Classics are amazing. I also carry my Leatherman Free P4, which is an all magnetic Leatherman, which is amazing. All external components, really great, all magnetically closed. And then I carry the, as I've shown in another video again, with my EDC and my Outdoor Adventure Paraclaw. It's a great little knife. And then the Arc by Spyderco, the Always Ready knife. Highly recommend. Been carrying it for months and months and months. No regrets. So that is pretty much all the knives I carry, all the ones I recommend. Please, please, please do yourself a favor and get some of these. Highly recommended. Thanks for stopping by. Tune in for the next volume or episode. I really appreciate it. Thanks and stay safe.